Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. This is Tim Bartz at McArthur in Salina, Kansas, and hopefully we have a good show for you here. I think my audio is good. Make sure we're good there. I'm actually delayed a little bit from you guys, but go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. According to my stream, got my audio looks to be good, so looking forward to this live stream, and hopefully this does help you out, gives you some information that out there, gives you some information that can help you out today. So first thing we're going to start off with is we're going to talk about the scheduling for this week. There are several vehicles that are ramped back up for scheduling, so we're going to get going. 22 Bronco Sport is being scheduled this week, so all those Webdo orders are going to get scheduled for 22. Good, got some thumbs up there for 22 Bronco Sport. So if you have a Bronco Sport in, might get scheduled this week, so that's going to start scheduling. They did tell us as dealers, though, if you do have a Big Bend scheduled, then try to make sure it doesn't have the optional 18-inch wheels, so they must not have that wheel available right now. But so it looks like, you know, they're asking people if you want one scheduled pretty quick to not put that wheel on there. But if you're wanting the wheel, it looks like it could be delayed. Also, 22 Explorer is starting to be scheduled now, so we're seeing startup for 22 Explorer happening. So that's going to be scheduled this week. 22 Maverick as well. Again, like I've told people that have orders in with us, keep in mind that scheduling this week for Maverick is for dealers that have allocations left for the month. We have a couple more weeks left for the September allocations. We're out here at McArthur. All 45 of our allocations were used the first week. We don't have any allocations, so none of our orders will get pulled this week or next week. I think our scheduling is our wholesale's end of this week, and we'll start getting information for the next week there. And then also 22 Super Duty retail in stock are getting scheduled this week, as well as 22 Transit Connect wagon and van, and then also 21 Mustang Mach-E, as well as 21 Escape, 21 Bronco, and 21 F-150 is getting scheduled. So they're going to try to get some of those 21s pushed over, and then some of those 21 F-150 orders will get converted over to 22s. Now, one of the cool thing about the F-150 that we just found out this week was that if you have a 21 F-150 order in, and it doesn't end up getting in for a 21 production, it'll get kicked to 22, but you'll get to hold those incentives. So right now, those incentives are 0% for 72 months on F-150s. So that I think those different incentives in the 0% will convert over to your 22 build, just because they know that there's been a hiccup there where there's been several weeks where they haven't been producing and scheduling, I should say, F-150s for 21. So keep that in mind. Also, order deadline dates, September 30th is an order deadline date for Bronco, Ranger, and F-150. October 7th is the order deadline for Expeditions. You want to get those in as well for that week too. For some reason I was thinking Ranger, but Ranger's on September 30th. And then 22 Mach-E reservation to order opens back up September 30th, as well as it says the 22 Bronco reservation to order is going to open back up October 13th. So that means they'll have the reservation back on there for 22 reservations. So I also heard, I think this week, that 22 Bronco build and price could be available as early as the middle of October. So we'll be able to go in there and see how we can build out our 22 Broncos and how they might be different from 21. So that means order guides should be coming available as well. Also, 21 F-150 Lightning. I got a little bulletin on our where you can do locates that said that Lightning reservation to order opens October 26th. So hopefully that build and price is going to be on Ford's website by the end of October, so we can get some information on that. So some pretty cool news there. I did on Saturday, I did a video. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see that on the 22 Maverick. The order guide did update. They did a few things. Some things was just some wording, so I won't talk any more about that, but I did want to talk about a couple things just to kind of reiterate from what I mentioned in that video, just to kind of recap a little bit. Keep in mind, late availability items that were removed from the order guide, this new update. One of them is they took out the 4K tow package with front wheel drive because that is not available. In case you didn't get that memo, if you have an order with a front wheel drive with the 4K tow package, you need to get with your dealer, you need to get that switched. They did come out with a memo that there's going to be an extra rebate or an extra private offer, and the way that's going to be is it's going to be an incentive that's dedicated to your order with that VIN number for your vehicle. So once you pull the incentives, what they call the Smart Vincent, and it shows incentives, you're going to get an extra private offer that's going to pay for the upgrade to all-wheel drive. So those are only people that had originally ordered a front-wheel drive with the 4K. So if you never ordered your vehicle that way, you will not get that private offer. That's the way it reads for me on there. So just gonna let you know that. Also, they removed the Rapid Red Metallic Tri-Coat from the late availability because it is available now. And I did see some people that got theirs reserved or scheduled, I should say. So there are some first editions with the Rapid Red that have been scheduled last week. So they are scheduling those. So that is now available. And they changed some wording on the rear crossbars from rear crossbars to cargo management system mounted bed crossbars. And I'm going to go ahead and flip ahead just a little bit. When you look at some of the standalone options, they now have added that you can add that package or that equipment, that dealer installed option, with your bed covers. So I think they've done something to make that to where instead of those bed rails or crossbars going on the top of the rails, they're somehow coming from the side, so that way you can still get a bed cover on there and go over that and still have those bed rails up there. If you want to put something on top like a tent or something, then you can put those rails and attach them pretty easily. So I did ask them, the brand manager, for images of this so I can see what that looks like. Haven't gotten a response back yet, but I do have an email in to see if I can get that. And if I do, we'll get that posted and then we'll talk about that and maybe even a separate video. Also, they added the floor mats, the carpeted floor mats, just the front row to the order guide. So that was not in there. It was missing. It was part of the features, but they just didn't have it on the order guide. And they also updated the wording on the Ford Copilot 360 package. They actually took a couple different features that's in there. They moved it down as a note because it's not going to be that's going to be two things that won't be included on all Copilot 360s. And one of the notes was for the full size spare. Excuse me, for the hybrid, that is only for the hybrid, so it's down as a note because EcoBoost wouldn't get that, so they didn't want to put that as two different options there or features within that package. And also the power mirrors feature on the XL is just on the XL, so they made that a note instead of including it up there with the features. So if you do have an XL, you get the Copilot 360, you do get the power mirrors, in case you were wondering about that. Somebody actually didn't know that earlier or this week on the social media, so I posted that for them. Also, the bed extender, they did change that a little bit. So you can get the bed extender with the hard trifold tonneau cover now. So if you didn't watch that video, you can add that. So if you're wanting a bed extender and the hard trifold, you can get them together. If I were you, I would. Bed extender is not something that's delaying orders, but the covers are. So if I were you, I would still go with my initially months ago I said order those separate anyway. If I were you, I would get the bed extender. If you want both, get the bed extender from the factory. They'll install it, and then get the hard top taken care of by your dealer. And then also the power moonroof wording did change. So this is upsetting a few people, but it used to say power tilt slide moonroof. Now it says power moonroof. My assumption there is that it doesn't tilt up, that it just, I think it normally would tilt, actually the back would tilt up and give you some air. Now probably what it is it actually just go down into the roof and slides back. So I think that's the only thing you're getting. I know some people said, well, my window sticker says tilt and slide, but whatever moonroof you're going to get with that, that's the moonroof you're going to get. Probably the same one as the Bronco Sport. They probably just needed to change the wording there. Also, I already mentioned the bed extender. So, and then also they did add a Yakima bed rail mounted crossbars to the order guide as well. That is not available with your tonneau, any of your tonneau covers. So that will sit on top, but that is coming from Yakima. So I want to go over that. The other thing I want to talk about is 22 order guide for the Ranger is available. I pulled this up. I think the last couple of days Ranger came out with it. I'll just mention a few changes. One of them is, if you remember the Ranger of the past, if you if you followed the Ranger at all, then you know that Ranger, there was a splash package that was available back in the day. Well, they are bringing that back. They are bringing it back. 22 Ranger will have a splash package. And what is included in that? Well, first of all, you can get that package in the XLT 301 or 302A equipment group or Lariat 501 equipment group on your Super Crew models. So, and that's going to basically include, a different grill. So it's going to dress up the grill. It's going to get a different wheel. It's a matte black finish wheel, 18-inch wheel. You'll get, black accents, some black fender vent, black bumpers. They're going to be painted black bumpers, black mirror caps on the Lariat. You'll get a black steel exposed dash plate, so kind of like the FX4 package, but instead of being that silver, it's going to be black down there. And then, of course, you're going to get splash graphics on the side, the tailgate, and then inside you're going to get some orange accents also on the seat. So orange accent stitching and carbon weave tuxedo stripe and bolsters. So that's going to be included in there. And then wheel lip molding is going to be black. So it's kind of an appearance package is what it's going to be for this model year. Also, they did add the pixelated graphics, gray or black, available on the XL, XLT, and Lariat 501A. I guess it's available on both XL and XLT, but only on the 501A on the Lariat. And then the black isn't available on the XL trim. So you can get gray on all three trims. The black available on XLT and Lariat. So. And then Hot Pepper Red is going to, of course, that's a new color for the Ranger. And actually, it's not new. It came back because it was originally on the Ranger the first year. And then Rapid Red Metallic is being discontinued for the Ranger. So a couple other things. The trimmer package is back again for this year. Now, though, it's going to be a little bit different. Now you can get it on the 302A equipment group. Which we couldn't do that last year, and you can also get on the Lariat 500A equipment group. And then the FX2 package is also returned for this year, and it is now not available. Last year wasn't available with the black appearance package, but for this year it is available with the black appearance package. You can get both of those together. So a couple different changes. They changed the door, the security code, the door code, keypad door code. They made it body colored, so that's pretty cool that they did that. And then also the universal garage door opener was standard on the 500A last year. Now you have to go up to the 501 to get the universal garage door opener on the Ranger. So anyway, a couple things I wanted to point out on that on the order guide, and we'll do once we get more information on the Ranger. Well, we have the order guide. We'll probably start doing some more videos on that as well. So covered that, but I also wanted to talk a little bit about some news that happened today that Ford put out about the facilities they're building in Tennessee and Kentucky. So they are going to spend a lot of money building two big facilities that can help with the electric vehicle builds out there and getting more electric vehicles. And their goal is to have 40 to 50% of their sales are going to be EV vehicles, so hybrids or electric vehicles, plug-in hybrids. They're figuring almost 50% of the sold vehicles for a Ford lineup will be that way. So that's going to be a big. Wait, so something just hit my site here. Any Bronco 22 ordering date news. I did mention that earlier, the 13th of October. We should get some more information. I think build and price should be up for Ford's website and order guides on that date. So, and then, okay, so basically what they're doing is they have a couple plants. So let me show you this. So they actually did a press conference today in Tennessee near Memphis. And so they are going to build this facility like this. That's kind of a rendering of it. So it's being called the Blue Oval City, and it is going to be let me find my notes here. It's a $5.6 billion investment facility. They're calling it a closed, clean loop of manufacturing, which means that everything, instead of taking anything to a landfill or anything like that, they are going to reuse everything that comes out of that. So they said, the battery recycling is going to be taking place there. It is going to, of course, battery manufacturing as well as electric vehicle assembly is going to be done there. So everything's going to be run on renewable energy sources. So they want to have basically zero waste of landfills, and is going to be totally clean there. It's going to be a carbon neutral facility. So pretty cool on how that's going to work out. I'm really looking forward to that, because you can see down in the corner there's some solar panels. So they're going to use the sun to power it. They're going to use water as well. and wind. Now in Kansas, we have a lot of wind farms here. We know a little bit about that, and we do a lot of wind energy here in Kansas, and we have a lot of people that make a lot of money off the wind energy that live out in western Kansas, and so that can really power that plant. So if you know anything about the Rouge plant, they've done some things there to make it to where it can be function as well, and use some of the land's sources. They're also in Kentucky. They're going to put this battery plant here. Show that. So they're calling it Blue Oval SK Battery Park. So they're going to have 2 battery parks there, and they're working with SK Global, who makes batteries now, and they're working together to create a battery park here. So this is a facility. They're investing $5.8 billion into this. By the way, I didn't mention it earlier, but the Blue Oval City will give 6,000 new jobs for that facility, and then in Kentucky, in the Blue Oval SK Battery Park, 5,000 new jobs. So they're talking about an $11.4 billion investment with 11,000 jobs. Oh, and they're also going to add another 450 jobs and spend $250 million to the Rouge EV plant as well to help production for the F-150 Lightning too. And then they also mentioned in Texas, they're also doing a job training for program for service technicians to learn how to work on these vehicles. So I'm excited about it. I actually do have an F-150 Lightning on reservation, and I think I'm probably going to switch my F-150 to that one. But man, so Ford's going all in here, and they're really doing some things. And I know Tesla has some plants out there, and they've been doing some of these things. But I think this might be, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I could be wrong, but sounds like to me that Ford's saying this is the first type of facility where they're going, carbon neutral here, and they're doing everything through using the resources from our planet to be able to make it that way, so that we don't have to have a lot of pollution as well, and we can build products without having to pollute our climate. So we know that's a problem. I mean, it's 90 degrees here today, and it's almost October, so we need to do something, definitely. So anyway, I won't get into more of that, but let's move on over. Don't forget, next week we'll have our live stream on Tuesday, but on Wednesday Ford is doing a live stream as well. I'll try to link that down in the description. I had it in my video last week, and I forgot to move it over to this video, but October 6th, Ford is having a Q&A, and I'll make sure I put that link down in the description for this video. It's going to be 6 p.m. Central Time, so an hour before what I normally do this video, but I want to point that out. Let's get into some questions now. So 17 minutes. I went a little bit over. I like to stay within 15 minutes on the news. So now let's talk about some questions. There were a couple of questions early as I was kind of watching and waiting to get on here. I did read a couple of questions, so we're going to go ahead and answer a few of them. Now, one of them asked, when is the EPA, do we have any information about EPA testing? Not yet. I do have an email in to some people. Haven't gotten a reply yet on that, when we're going to see the okay to buy on the hybrids. We do have several hybrids that are being built for customers. We have some people saying that they're not building hybrids, and they are. They're building the hybrids. They just can't release them to be purchased yet until EPA has tested it. So they have to do their testing on it, and of course those numbers will show up on the window stickers for your vehicles, and then they can go ahead and be purchased and be okayed and released to be sent off to dealers for those to be purchased by you guys. So hopefully that happens pretty soon. Not sure on that. They're still saying fall is their guideline there, and they will get them in the fall. Keep in mind, fall just started September 21st, 22nd. So fall just started. In fact, right now here it still feels like summer, so I'm not really feeling like fall quite yet, but we will see hopefully really soon. And of course, as soon as I get something, I'll probably maybe even do a separate video on that, because that is real important. So we do have okay to buy on EcoBoost. A lot of people have received their EcoBoost. We haven't seen any yet. None of our stock units are here yet. It's kind of a thing in Kansas. We always hear that everything gets to Kansas last because we're in the middle of the United States. So that includes our vehicles. Sometimes we're the last ones to get our first vehicles, whereas those cities that are close to those manufacturers, I know Arizona and places like that have already received theirs, and because they are closer to Mexico, so that makes sense. So anyway, also talking about, another question was, somebody had trouble with being able to put in the multiple packages on their build, and we actually had that happen here. And I did figure out something that worked for us, and is that we didn't order like the 4K tow package. So we ordered I think the person wanted the FX4 package. They want all-wheel drive, they wanted the luxury package, the FX4 package, and they wanted the Copilot 360, and they wanted the 4K. Did I already say the 4K? Anyway, FX4, 4K, and they wanted the Lux package and the Copilot 360. Basically, all the packages they could get. And so what we did is it wouldn't let us do that. So we left off the 4K. We went ahead and submitted the order, and then we went in and to update the order, and then it let us add the 4K tow package and then resubmit it. So that worked. So if you're a dealer out there and you're struggling with that with your customer, you might try that and see if that works. It happened to work for us. They tried that and they weren't able to add the 4K tow package, so they kind of left it. And then I went into the order later and I was able to do it. And I'm like, well, it worked fine for me. But I think it was just because it was saved that way, and then it let me add it later. So something to try. Anyway, also somebody also asked, when is the best time to order accessories from the dealer? So somebody said that they have a build date for November. When should they order? Should they order their accessories now? Should they wait until it's being shipped out? Typically, you know, what we do, and I'm doing the same thing. I have a Bronco that is getting built next week, and I haven't ordered accessories for it yet. I'm gonna kind of wait till that build date, and then I'll probably order them. So because that usually gives about 4 weeks for those parts to come in, but not to sit there too long for the dealer to have to, you know, contend with and such. So usually that works out. So usually you'll get an email that says your vehicle is built, now's a good time to look at accessories and that kind of thing. So that's a good time. You can order it now if you want to. Really up to the dealer. If you're in a dealership, they may say, oh, we can't get the order, we can't get them now or whatever. Then you might wait a little bit, but they are available through parts right now. A lot of those through Ford Accessories. They can get those. Any of your dealerships can get them through the parts departments and such, like the bed covers and that kind of stuff. So you could order them. You know, it doesn't really matter, but if you want to make sure it's there before, especially if you're getting a vehicle from us where we're going to ship it out to you, you know, you want to make sure you get them. But you know, the ones that we got one within a week, so we shouldn't have any problem getting them within 4 weeks. So just that's something to keep in mind. Another person asked about the conversion rate from reservations to orders. How many have we? What's our conversion percentage? Because I think they're in California and their dealership converted about 20 or 30%. I have converted about 60%. They're no longer doing reservations. They cut off the reservations process in August. You can still order Mavericks. You just go straight to the dealer now. But ours, I think we received over 500 reservations, and we converted we're up to about 350 orders now. So I think we probably were about 60% was our number there. So we were converting about 60, about the same as we did on Bronco. We had 150 Bronco orders, and we end up getting 95 converted over to orders. So anyway, any other questions? Should the sales manager at my dealer know how many monthly allocations they have for Mavericks? Yes, they should. Next week, I think it's actually next Friday or next Monday is when we're doing our wholesale. They call it a wholesale meeting, and that's where they get information from their zone rep or their regional rep. I think it's called our zone rep. We have a lady here that does ours, and she comes by and we go through every model, and she lets us know how many allocations we have. We have earned allocations, and then we can ask for more. We usually never get more because last month we were getting 45 Maverick allocations, and we asked for another 100. We didn't get them. So, but I think actually we had 43, so we did get a couple extra. But so yeah, you'll learn that at your wholesale meeting. Your rep should come around, or at least do it by phone or by Zoom with each dealer, and they should know at the beginning of each month what their allocations are going to be for that next month. So ours is going to be this next. So this next week is not going to be the first week of October scheduling. It's actually going to be the week after that. So let me pull up my calendar here so you guys can get a good idea. So I can get some dates here. But so. Yeah, so October 4th to the 8th is probably when most of the zone reps will get with their dealer, whether it be the dealer principal, whoever does the ordering. Our meeting, we have our general manager is involved in that, as well as we have a person that does all our orders, Meredith, and then they've let me sit in a last wholesale meeting so I can get an idea of what's going on and I can relay that information to you guys. So that should happen between the 4th and the 8th. Some of them maybe even get out. First is not a good day for dealers because we're closing out our month and everything. But then the week of the 11th is when scheduling for October scheduling is going to be for most of the production. And so that's going to be the first week. So that week, 11th to the 15th, that Thursday, the 14th, that's the day that we should see a lot of scheduled emails coming out. And they did tell us last month that they're projecting about 4,900 builds for the month of December. So we know that's their goal. And so we still have some of November left that they need to fill up. So we might see that, but that's basically how that's going to work. So hopefully that kind of helps you guys out there. Okay, Ford, any news on Maverick financing incentives? Right now I know there's 0% for like 36 months, I think, and it goes up from there. Every month incentives, they'll always say they're good till the end of the month, and then they usually the next month they might change a little bit. We haven't really seen rebates change much at all in the last several months, but we do know that, you know, sometimes incentives will change. Like right now, you know, F-150 has 0% for 72 months. About all the models have 0% for 36. But then we know on F-150, it's supposed to expire when, at the end of this month, September 30th is when the 0% is supposed to expire for F-150. So it really depends. Sometimes they get refreshed and they just redo them for the next month. But I wouldn't be too concerned. I think when you go to do your order, you might be able to lock in incentives, but on Maverick, you might not, just because it is a new launch and such. But just in certain situations you can do that. So we know that there'll be some good incentives on those because they know people want to, you know, there are people that are getting this that are wanting the cheapest possible vehicle. They're going with that XL or whatever, so they want the best incentives as well. So they're going to have some, and they do have some really good incentives like first-time buyers, college student rebates. There's a lot of different other rebates you can get as well that you can get. So when you get a VIN number, that's when they can start pulling and start figuring that out. So when your vehicle gets a VIN and it's scheduled for build, that's usually when you could actually go to the dealer and you could talk about, you know, financing at that point, pull your credit and that kind of stuff, and have things in line. So when your vehicle comes in, you can go ahead and go in, just sign paperwork and be done, because you have pretty much all the figures. So that could be done. We've done it a couple times, maybe a week or two before it gets here, just to kind of have things done and in line and everything. Let's see what else. Yes, please help our zone rep. Actually, really, it's not our zone rep. Our zone rep's just a person that relays the information. So that's really Ford and what they allow, and it really has to do with the region. So like our region got last month got 90, and we received 93 Maverick allocations for the entire Kansas City region. And we received 45 of the 93 allocations. So we got half of them just for our dealership. You know, most dealers are going to get 1 or 2. Some dealers that I've seen out there have 80 orders. Some have 100 orders. So they may get, you know, a handful. I think one dealer I think they had 9. I think Granger Ford, I think they posted that they got 9 allocations last month. And I think they have about 100 orders. So it is a kind of a percentage. So there are some dealers out there that have 4 or 5 orders and they haven't received any allocations yet. So, you know, it really just depends on your region. I know Kansas, I know that the California, there's like 2 or 3 regions for California, and I know there's a couple for Florida, and I know they're receiving a bunch right now, I think, because they have so many orders in, and so I think they're getting a bunch down there. So what we really need here for Salina is we need a lot of hybrids being built. It's what we need. We have over 200 hybrid orders. I think we only got 13 of those were scheduled last month. We need hybrid orders, not only because I have a hybrid, but my daughter has a hybrid, plus we have a bunch of you that have orders with us that are hybrids, and I know a bunch of others out there that have hybrids that you want to get some hybrids scheduled. So, and I know they're doing the best they can there at Ford. So I know that, you know, getting those hybrids and those batteries and such, you know, it's going to take a little while to get that ramped up and everything. So. Oh yeah, somebody did say credit pull is only good for 30 days. That's true. So, you know, if usually you kind of wait until it's been built and it's in transit, because usually it takes about 4 weeks And I will say Ford is doing a really good job. So there are some that were built the week of the 13th, and some people already received them within like a week or two. So that impressed me, because I was telling you guys 4 to 6 weeks, because I said just allow for inspections and such. So I was really surprised that some of those orders got out that fast. So Ford's doing a good job. So probably 3 or 4 weeks is about right. So, and I know on the emails they are giving you dates, a date range for when your vehicle's supposed to be here. I will tell you that can fluctuate a little bit, because my sister has a Corsair on order, and hers was supposed to be here, but sometime between last Thursday and today, and it has not arrived yet. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes there can be a little delay there. So. Base Bronco 2-door Saturday with my Colette. Will that be pulled this year? Not sure. Base does help. 2-door doesn't help. So 2 doors, because of the hardtop, they're trying to get all the first editions done, and plus replace all the hardtops of the vehicles they've already produced with hardtops that needed them replaced. So I'm not sure if we're going to see those actually, any that are scheduled. I have seen some people that ordered, 4-door cloth top that got scheduled real quick. We have several people with Big Ben that got, we got a bunch of Big Bens, because our region's saying we want Big Bens, cloth tops, 4 doors right now. We're going to schedule those. So if you have any orders like that, we can do those. The other ones we're holding off on. So, that's just really what Ford recommends, and what they ask for is what is able to be they're able to build there. Following up. No email from Ford. Ordered 7.8 XL hybrid. After talking to the dealer, got email from Ford, then got a build email for 11.8, but says ordered 8.11. So wow, good. So yeah, it took them a month. So yeah, again, and I will say this. There are some people that, again, I did a video several months ago. There are some dealers that don't quite understand the process. Not just submitting this through the webdo isn't the last step. Doesn't mean it's actually ordered. That you'll get an email from Ford saying your order's in, and Ford marketing will look at it and say, yep, your vehicle's in process. But if you don't order it through the RLVP process, then it will not get scheduled and get a build date. And so probably that dealership, they originally ordered it on July 8th, XL hybrid, and didn't get anything. And then on the 8th, that's when they realized what they needed to do, and then probably submitted it through RLVP, got that approval, and then it got scheduled for an 11.8 production. So I'm glad that dealership followed up with you on that. So and I'm really, those of you that are out there with dealers that maybe don't know all the process, and you go in there and sometimes they might fight you a little bit. Sorry, you have to deal with that. Sometimes it's difficult because they don't always know the process. We've been working the same type of process since I think it was May when Ford came out with it. So we were already doing that. So we knew a little bit about how to submit vehicles that we ordered for customers through that process, but some dealers did not do that, so it was new to them. So can you get confirmation the moonroof won't tilt? I am getting confirmation of that. I did have that's another thing I have an email in to the brand manager for, is to ask about that, but I don't think it will tilt. I think the reason they took that off is because it doesn't have the tilt feature. I'm pretty confident on that, but I'm trying to get the 100% confirmation of that. I like to be 100% accurate as if I can. And so I have maybe assumptions, and I have my gut instinct. 20 years working for a Ford dealer, doing the same thing for 20 years. I've learned a lot, and I've seen some things with order guides because I've been doing videos going over all the standard equipment and optional equipment based off order guides. So I know how to read the order guides real well and see things and see different wording and changes. And so I'm pretty good at that, but I want to be 100% accurate for you guys out there. But my assumption is it will not tilt. It'll just slide. So you'll have a manual sunshade that you open up, and then you have a button, you press it, and it's going to open that glass up. I don't believe it's going to tilt. So just keep that in mind. But I'll get confirmation on that. I'm still waiting for that. He's usually must be pretty busy this week because he has not had a chance to reply to either one of my 2 emails there. So you mentioned in the previous video moved tilt from the moonroof description. Yeah. So yeah, I just answered that question. Excited for you. Okay. So here's a question about the 4K. So do people that changed 4K tow with front wheel drive to all-wheel drive a month ago get the discount? They should. We don't really know until we see VIN numbers, because the way that works, I actually do have a copy of that information, the Ford release. I can't read it word for word, but I can kind of break it down. So basically the way that's going to work, it's going to be a private offer with a private offer number. So when you pull for incentives of whether or not you can get 0% or rebates are available and that kind of thing, then your order, because they're able to see your order number and the VIN that was based off your order, they should know originally that you had ordered a front wheel drive. And then you should get that private offer. So that's what we've been told. So basically you would take that order as long as the order wasn't canceled. If you had front wheel drive with the 4K and then you canceled the order and then you resubmitted a new order as all wheel drive, probably not. I'm sorry to say that. I'm not sure. Maybe if your dealer has original, or you have the original order that shows front wheel drive with 4K and then you have your new one with all wheel drive, you may be able to submit those to Ford and then get that rebate. I'm not sure on that. That's another thing. I have 3 emails in right now, and that is one that I have in on asking a question about that and how that's going to work. But it should be a private offer. They'll go on incentives when they pull your VIN number. When they go to do incentives, that's when you should get that information and should show that rebate. So we do know right now, if you have it that way, it's going to work. We do have one customer that we had front wheel drive with the 4K. We did switch his to all wheel drive like right after Ford said you can't do that, you need to switch your orders. We switched his because we want to be able to get his pulled as quickly as possible. So we did switch his over right away, and so we don't actually have the original copy of that it was. I went to try to pull like one of our stock units and use that VIN in there, and it didn't give him that rebate. But I think it's because we used a VIN from a vehicle that he didn't order. It was a stock VIN instead of a retail. So I think we're gonna have to wait until his is scheduled and we get a VIN number, then we can pull that and find out. So you know, if one of you out there has you know, a VIN from an all-wheel drive and you did that, you know, I could probably try to run that and see, or just go to your dealer. They should be able to run those Vincents and see if that's going to work there. So, okay, I ordered XLT with tow on 7/7/27 when I heard that they would not be making it. I added all-wheel drive. I got a VIN, but not a production date. Why? Also, it sounds like I get a discount. You should have a production date as well. Usually you won't get a VIN because you can usually run that VIN and see when the production date is. So your dealer, if you have a VIN, go to your dealer, have them pull the VIN in their vehicle visibility application, and then they can go in there and they can see where it's at in the process. So you can see if it's scheduled to week or scheduled to day. Like my Bronco, it was been scheduled to week. The week of this next week, and then just recently within the last week I got a schedule today, and I know that it's going to be built on Wednesday of next week, so it's going to be on that day. So so they can be able to look that up for you. Our spray and bedliners still in constraint as of now. We'll know again next week when we get a wholesale. I'll do a video going over some of the things that maybe that are still constraints and some that aren't, and so we'll clarify that. But right now, when they give us that information, it's usually applied for the rest of the month of the builds. So at this point right now, that still was on there. So my dealer told me today my Maverick has been, oh, whoa, just jumped. Where did it go? Okay, I just bumped a bunch. I'm way behind here. Okay, I missed. Oh, there it is. Okay. My dealer told me today my Maverick has been produced. Does that mean it will get? I will get it soon. Once it's produced, you should get it within 4 weeks. So, yep, should get it pretty soon. Someone confirmed that it does tilt. Someone just confirmed that it does tilt. Cool. You know, really, we just need to. I mean, I know maybe they just for some reason want to change the wording. I'm not sure why they would take out tilt if it does tilt, but. Again, that's why I like to be 100% sure, because my assumption is taking out the word tilt meant it would not tilt. Most of those buttons usually have a forward that brings it forward, and then if you hit it again, it'll tilt it up, and then when you tilt it back, it'll come down, and then you hit it back again, and it'll continue back. So we can look at some Bronco. We actually don't have any Bronco Sports with the tilt with the moonroof, but hopefully it does for those of you who want it. I don't think having it on there is, you know, a bad thing, you know. So why not leave it on there, right? So our EPA miles per gallon numbers holding up on hybrids. Yes, that's what's holding up. So they are waiting. It's really not on Ford at this point, I don't believe. And and I know Ford kind of watches my videos closely, so I do kind of watch a little bit of what I say. But I believe the holdup is we're waiting for the EPA testing done, and that's Ford doesn't do the testing. So once that testing gets done and they come up with those numbers, then hopefully once they get that released, then we can see those hybrids been released. So that's Ford's, you know, Ford's producing the hybrids. They're getting them out there, they're scheduling them, they're producing them, they're making them. They made them in the last couple weeks. At this point, they're kind of sitting, kind of like Broncos are sitting, but hopefully it won't be as long for Bronco as it was for some of the Broncos there. But I ordered my Maverick on July 24th. My sales person emailed me that I'll probably going to get a build date email in October, and hopefully it will get here by the end of the year. That's great. I don't know how they can actually forecast that, because we have people that have orders in June still not scheduled, and it really just depends on when they get allocations. So so hopefully, you know, they're expecting some allocations, and maybe they did their wholesale and they know they have allocations and they know that yours is going to get ordered. So that would be great. But otherwise, you know, really we don't always know that information until they get previewed. Sometimes we can know on Tuesday, Wednesday if an order is going to be pulled, possibly scheduled, but that's the only way to really know for sure. My hybrid was built last week, but not shipped. When can we expect the hybrid? Okay, I already answered that earlier. Somebody else asked me. So Tim, should I change my build with Mike to a 4-door base? If you know, if you're wanting one, it wouldn't be a bad idea to switch to 4-door and with a cloth top, because the hard tops right now, they're gonna take most of the hard top production that they have to replace the ones that need replaced that have the bad hard tops on them for the Bronco. So you know, those are gonna be right now. They're gonna dedicate all those to those in the first editions that have to be built as a 21. If you're wanting a 21 or you're wanting one as soon as possible, always go to 4-door. And at this point, if it doesn't get pulled for 21, then you could go ahead and we're going to have to change those orders when 22 opens up anyway, and then we can always change that back to 2-door if you want. So it's really up to you. I don't want to, you know, if you really want a 2-door, you know, keep it. You know, I just know that, you know, they're probably going to have a hard time. We have somebody that has a 2-door on order right now. They are number 3 on our list. They were the 3rd order in. They ordered the very first night you could reserve a Bronco. They put their order in. They have a 2-door hard top, the 2.7. I think it's a Wild Track, maybe even a Badlands, and his is not getting scheduled. So, you know, so that's just something we're telling him. You know, one of the things that we told him and said, let's flip that over to a 4-door cloth top Big Ben to get you one here, and then let's order for a 22. Let's order you a Wild Track like you're wanting and such, and a 2-door. And you probably could drive, you know, a 4-door, drive a Bronco for a little bit, trade it in on the 22, and probably just be fine with the way prices are. And there's so much demand for the Bronco that people would take a used Bronco, and it's probably going to be able to just trade in and be in a good place when the 22 comes in. But that's you know, that's some things that we do here in the car business. Sometimes we'll drive a vehicle for a little bit that we like and trade it in because of the demand. Just, you know, good times to trade and such. Any information on Lightning allocation and how it will be prioritized given the 150,000 reservations. I do know they mentioned today that the Lightnings were sold out, and I think they just mean that they have more than what they can handle for 2022 model year. And I know it just like with Bronco, it's really based. It's going to go off of your timestamp of when your reservation was in. Like I did my reservation the first night in the first hour. So you're gonna, you know, it's gonna try to go from that timestamp the best it can, based on commodity. So if you have, you know, I would say just like what I've been saying with the Maverick, order it, you know, don't get a lot of extra accessories, and you should get a 22. So that's the way I'm going to build mine. You know, I'm waiting to see exactly, you know, whether or not I'm going to go XLT or Lariat, but I'm going to order mine. I'm not going to get those accessories and such because I know I can get those later. I'm going to get, you know, I'm going to go with the base packages, not a lot of other standalone options. And it should get, because of the number, it should get right in place so it can get, you know, sent to me and be one of the first ones. So that's kind of my goal too. Will Ford announce Maverick orders during the 3rd quarter earnings call? you know a little bit about it. So yeah, we do that call. They might, probably will. Wouldn't be my assumption. I know our Lincoln call is this Friday, but I don't know when our Ford one is. I think it's Friday as well. And so hopefully we do get some information there as well. So I'll try to sit and see if I can sit in on that meeting too and be a bug on the wall there. With all the time waiting and saving money on payment, maybe I just add some stuff or allocate accessories. By the way, thanks to the members for joining in tonight. So, and by the way, those of you, I think actually the two on here, I have the shirts are on their way to you, so we get those pretty soon. Okay. I think I might have moved up here on my thing. Oh yeah, somebody must have asked what ROVP stands for. Thanks, DIY Dave, for answering that for me. I changed my base order to Ford. Okay, yeah, I answered that already. Oop. All right, we'll flip down here a little bit. Guilty luxury package, patient. Yeah, I will say right now too, I think luxury package is getting built at a smaller percentage as well, whether it be the XLT or the Lariat luxury. So hopefully that changes for this next month. I just wait to purchase and then have a 2023 Maverick. You know, like I tell people with the Bronco, just get yourself in line. I mean, because it could take, you know, like we know with Bronco, it could be clear through the 22 model year before they catch up on all the orders. And if we had somebody that actually canceled on a Bronco order, they had a, you know, they were kind of in the middle, and they canceled on the Bronco order, and then they decided they want one, so then they ordered again, and they put them back at the bottom of the line. So I just go ahead and order it, and then, you know, just not be, you know, just go ahead and order it and see when it gets here. So you might be surprised, because we had somebody that I think I mentioned in one of my videos that ordered a Maverick. They ordered the XLT, and they ordered a couple of standalone options that aren't constrained, and they got scheduled the same week. So you never know. They got pushed ahead of other people just because it was a very basic build. They didn't have a luxury package on there. They didn't have a spray and bed liner, no bed covers, and I got scheduled quickly. So same thing kind of happened with my Bronco with what I chose on my Bronco. And I didn't compromise on my Bronco. It's what I wanted, and I just got lucky enough that what I wanted is what Ford wants to build. So and you know, Ford does that a lot on a lot of vehicles. Just, you know, a lot of times Ford will build like what most people want to build, because, you know, coming forward, most of the Maverick builds are probably going to be XLTs. I mean, that's going to be their primary. The chunk of what they're going to make for dealer lots are probably going to be XLTs. You know, and then the next is going to be Lariat. So they're going to see that, and they're seeing a lot of people with the XLT luxury package. So that's going to be a percentage of the XLTs that they'll have for dealers will be the luxury packages. So they do the same thing with all of it. And on the Bronco, that just happens to be the big bend trim. That's the one it's your like an XLT trim in a sense for the Bronco, because it gives you, you know, add the mid package, it gives me the heated seats, you know, the heated steering wheel, I believe, the dual zone climate, gives me some of those great features, intelligent access, push button start on my Bronco. That's all I really need, you know. Give me that and go. I don't really need the Lux package or the high package for my Bronco that I'm going to go take it off road and such. It's not going to be my daily driver all the time. Probably for a while it will be, but you know, so that's just something that, you know, kind of what Ford's thinking is they're going to build more of the package that most people can afford and want, and the most popular trim. And that's what they're going to try to build, and they're going to tell dealers, if you want some stock units, this is why you need to configure them, and they let us know that. So I'm just passing that on to you guys there. So thanks for this problem. This is, by the way, what we're talking about the shirts is, if you we do have membership on the channel. You can probably see it down there. You can learn more information about that if you want to become a member. I think it's $5 is what I did, and what we're doing there is I try to, you know, send them some pictures of things going on behind the scenes and such, and I've actually been doing a bad job being able to do that because of all the different videos I've been doing. So I actually we had an event that got canceled, live from the lot, so I had some extra shirts, and so I gave them out to members as part of the membership. So if you want to be a member, go ahead and join down there. And I actually am thinking October we'll probably give out some hats and that kind of thing too. So I actually like the one I have behind me, so probably do some of those for a month. So we'll just see. So yeah, you can not forcing membership on it. So because that's not really a primary thing. It's just something I want to try to do, some fun stuff for people that are members and they're just wanting to join in. So and then I want to basically, the cost is should get, hopefully each month you'll get something in return that's going to be equivalent to that $5. So that's kind of the goal there. So Mike Mole, he's on vacation right now, by the way. So Mike Mole, yeah, if you have Mike Mole is your salesperson, he's on vacation. We call him Maverick Mike around here because he's got a lot of Maverick orders. And so anyway. Any idea EPA will release numbers? Don't. I wish I did there. Okay, here's another one. Yeah, tag me if you have a question. Some people are just kind of commenting, so if you could tag me, then I know that's a question I want to make sure I look at. Tag along McArthur. Just do the @ McArthur. Any idea when EPA numbers for hybrid will be out? I know you don't work there, but any word? No. I am going to do one more. I'm going to shoot one more email out today to the marketing team and see if they can maybe help me out on that and see if I can get any information for us there. So hopefully, I mean, it's been a little while, so hopefully Ford will kind of, get us some information on that. So I'm really hoping that maybe with wholesale, we might get that information. And usually we're not the first dealership that has wholesale. And a lot of times they'll put it on the different forums. Somebody will throw in there that information. So hopefully somebody does throw that information out there before I'm able to and gets that information to you guys. Hopefully they don't do any kind of proprietary information and screenshots, but at least getting you guys information out there is always good. So is there any chance Blake from your aftermarket department could show us aftermarket wheels of various styles and finishes? Yeah, I actually talked to him about some wheels the other day, and he is actually working on that. So I know that'd be a great thing. So if we can get that information, then he can help you out with that. What's the best gas for the Maverick? Most of the Ford vehicles, they say just regular unleaded. That's usually what I put in most of the vehicles, but I know premium will help you get better fuel economy, but it also costs more. So it's, I don't know, for me, I feel like it's kind of a wash there. So any word on fully electric Maverick? I mean, the way hey, thanks John for joining on the Lawn McArthur crew there. I do know that the way Mike Levine, he posted a picture, I don't know if you saw that, but I posted that on the forums, and he actually had said that he drove a Maverick for 50 miles and got 50 miles per gallon, and it was 25 miles of electric, or of the battery power, or whatever they call it, electric, I think, or EV, that's what they call it. And so that's getting some numbers. And I know that the fast lane guys, they actually drove theirs for a little while, and they showed a screenshot of the screen, and it was 44 miles to the gallon, and it had 1,800 miles on it. And I don't know how long they reset that, but if that's some of the numbers you can see, several different people have been driving that and getting over 40 in them. So I think if you have a hybrid, you're going to be happy with your fuel economy. I really do. So I'm kind of excited because I did order a hybrid to see kind of what it's going to get. What speed can the electric motor power and vehicle on the hybrid? I have a daily commute from 65 miles per hour, 120 days. That's still going to have a 2.5 four-cylinder engine, gas engine in it. So you're going to be able to get up to speed just fine. So I always say, the great thing about it is I never really drove our Fusion hybrid like a hybrid should be used. I didn't take off slow. I drove it like a normal car. I like to, I have an F-150, and I love putting my foot in it from a stop, and just taking off. And I drove my Fusion a lot of times that way as well. It has a lot of power. You're going to be able to get up to speed and no problem at all on the highway. So you're going to be good there and not have any issues there. So I think it'll be a good vehicle. Now, most people that probably, if you need to decide whether or not, I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, EcoBoost or hybrid would be basically maybe how much of your driving is done, on the highway versus how much is it city driving. Hybrids are going to be a great choice if you're driving a lot in the city. Like for me, I just drive to and from work mostly, very rarely go on a road trip or whatever. Hybrid is a great, vehicle to be able to do that, be a great commuter. But even if you're like, if you're in a metro area where, you do have some, slower speed driving, but you also do get up on the highway for a little bit, there's nothing wrong with a hybrid either, because it's still going to get you, that 30 to 40 on the highway, but still get you 40, or so in when you're you're going slower speeds. So, oh, wow, okay. All right, so Tim, my Bronco order is with you guys. I'm going to change it to a base 4-door instead of a 2-door. Can you customize it for me? I can actually do that now. I have access to the webdo, and I can actually help you with that. So I can actually go into your order and help you out with that. So I could do that tomorrow morning. So what's today? Tuesday? Maybe we should do it tonight. Look at that here. Order XLT Luxury 8.3 not scheduled yet. If you did get a hybrid, I will tell you, you ordered, you know, in August. We have orders in June still not scheduled here for McArthur. So my daughter ordered in June and hers isn't scheduled. I know so there's some other people that have hybrids that aren't scheduled at a lot of dealerships as well. So might be waiting a little bit, just to let you know that. Now keep in mind and think about how many orders are in on these. And the first month, September, they've had only 2 weeks of production. I know that for November production, their goal is to get 2,700 vehicles built in November. And let's say that's what it was for October, and they're going to do 5,000 in December. So by the end of the year, they may only have about 10,000 Mavericks built. They have a lot more than 10,000 orders already in the order bank. So just keep that in mind. If you have an order, hopefully if you have a hybrid and you're, June, July, you can maybe see yours hopefully get scheduled this next month. If you have one, you put it in mid-July to August. Just be okay that you're probably going to take a little while. So I know it's kind of hard to wait. It's exciting to get a new vehicle, but because of the launch, some of the times at a launch, we've seen it with Mach-E, we've seen it with the Bronco Sport. Takes a while to get things ramped up and going, to get those orders. Future years, once this is up and going, you can pretty much order and know that in about 2 months you're going to get your vehicles. And that's typical with F-150 right now. If we order an F-150, you can figure we're going to get it in about 2 to 3 months. Right now, normally it's 2 months, but during COVID, because of the chip shortage, we usually about 3 months, and we've had some even longer than that. So you just gotta, but once it gets on the launch, it's gonna take a little while. Do you know how many allocations you have for October? Not yet. Hopefully Monday we'll know, I think. So next week's live stream, I should be able to tell you guys. Hopefully give you a good idea. Have any Mavericks been delivered to people who ordered yet? Yes. Not here, but some dealerships I know in Arizona, they're getting delivered to their customers, their Mavericks. McArthur, we haven't gotten any yet. So we have a couple stock units that are in transit, but nothing arrived yet. Does the steering wheel on the XLT have a up and down tilt? It has a manual tilt, if that's what you're talking about. For the steering wheel to go up and down, it'll go up and down, forward and back. So you just pull a little lever underneath it, releases it, and then it can go up and down, forward, back, get it where you want, and put it into place. Any hybrids being delayed because of EPA? Yes, the hybrids are being delayed because of the EPA. Stephen, if you could go ahead and email me, I think if you have my email address, timothybarts@gmail. And when we got the live stream here, we'll go in there and we'll update your order. Just email me and I'll give you a call, because I don't think I have your phone on me. I'll have to look. Adil told me that they can receive 5 EcoBoost stock vehicles, but no retail vehicles at all. Is that expected? Yeah, because they were building some of the stock units in early September. So the first couple weeks of September, they were building some stock units. And then September 13th is when they started building retail units, which are the vehicles for customers. And so some of those stock units could start be showing up at dealerships before some of the retail units. So in our case, we don't have any of either yet. We actually do have several customer vehicles that are built, but we haven't seen them yet. We probably will get, most dealerships probably should get their stock units a little bit in front of the retail units, just maybe a week or so, but they should be coming right back, or right on top of each other as we start seeing those. So, Tim, do you think you'll do a test drive video sometime the first week of October? I'd like to get one. I really wish I could. I know October 5th is when the embargo drops for those videos. Ford actually said that they were going to have their own media release something at the late September. Tomorrow's the 29th. I'm not sure how much later you can get, but so I think they're going to have some footage go live about test driving and such. I think what it is probably footage that's more of a commercial based, maybe not necessarily a Ford test drive video on how they drive, because that wouldn't be very biased. But I know that the test drive videos, they have to wait till the 5th, which I think is kind of strange, because customers, if you're out there and you've drove one, get some video footage and get it out to the rest of the community, because you know, you already got your vehicle and you're not really tied to anything because you're not with the media with the dealership. You could probably do your own video and put it out there, although I do know somebody that it's not tied to either one of those that got his video taken off. So but hopefully that embargo is coming real soon. It's just, you know, next week. So what is the 5th? Why do I keep looking at the calendar? I can't figure out. The 5th is Tuesday, so Tuesday we should start seeing some videos from some people, so that'll be fun. So actually we might have some fun. That'd be next Tuesday, so those should drop like first thing in the morning. So I don't know if it's after the 5th or the 5th. So if it's that Tuesday morning, we may have some fun things to talk about next week in the live stream, and maybe even watch some of those videos on the live stream here, so get some ideas on those test drives. So, and of course we should be able to do our test drive, which was a really short one, just a first test drive with an EcoBoost, so we can always post that video too as well. Tim, why do you have a Pokeball on your desk? Because I like to play Pokemon Go, believe it or not. So that is actually a 3D printed model there that somebody made for me. So yeah. What is the break-in mileage for both engines in the Maverick? You know, really too much anymore. Ford doesn't. I don't know if there's. They really say like 1,000 miles, I believe, or even a little bit more. Usually when I get a vehicle, I just drive it. I don't. You try not to like hit the throttle, not try to like speed off in it. But there's not a major break-in. Most of those engines are good to go for the most part. But a lot of people do say to get the best mileage, you want to have a break-in period, and I think it will be in your owner's manual. It probably will say in there, so you might check that out. But usually, I think, from what I understand, is about maybe 5,000 miles. That might be the number I'm thinking of there. So my order says it is in production 9/24/2021, so it's been built. When will I know more? You should get an email once it's built. So you should get an email that says your vehicle's built, is on its way to you. And I think that maybe that email doesn't come out until actually it's been put on a transit to you. But I'm not sure, but I thought that you get that email. So if I was to order a pretty basic EcoBoost Maverick, what do you think the ETA would be when I would have it? Well, if you do an EcoBoost Maverick and you have a dealership with some allocations available, you can probably get scheduled pretty quick. And right now they're scheduling for late November, I believe, is what they're working on right now. You have answered my question. Yeah, I can do that, Steve. Okay. If you have a VIN, what does that mean? The ROVB or RVD, correct? And it should be scheduled soon. I'm not sure exactly what you were talking about. I mentioned the ROVP, which is the order verification process, but if you ever have a VIN, then that was done. So then your vehicle should be scheduled. So, ordered F-350 in July. It was delivered last week. Okay, so July, yeah, we're in September, so 3 months. So yeah, yeah, and I know Super Duty was taking a little longer as well. We had a bunch of Super Duties on order for a while before we got them. So, you have dimensions for the Kubbis or a part number to add to my XL? I do not have that information. Watch the video from customer got his Maverick. So somebody did post 6 a.m. 10:05 Eastern time. So looks like so they must know that it can go live at 6 a.m. Eastern. That's 5 a.m. Okay, same way it was when Maverick information. We had actually had a video that was ready to go the night before, and I knew 5 a.m. our time, Central Time, was when I could have that go live, and I had to go live at 5 a.m. So yeah. So if you're 5 a.m. that morning, so get up early, set your alarms, and watch some videos before you go off to work. Right. Thanks for answering that, by the way. So I appreciate that. So. Any info on what happens when you get heavy duty and heavy. Okay, any info on what happens when you get both heavy duty and high capacity radiators from the 4K and FX4 packages? I believe you get one or the other. Oh, look that up. I lose a little information from time to time. Let's look up those packages. So the 4K tow package gives you the heavy duty transmission with an oil cooler and the higher capacity radiator and upgraded cooling fan. You go to the FX4 package, you're going to get the high capacity radiator and upgraded cooling fan. So that's going to be the same. So you don't get the, so what I think what you're thinking of is the FX4 package. It's the high capacity radiator and upgraded cooling fan. And then on the 4K tow package, you get that plus the heavy duty transmission with oil cooler. So you're going to get a little, it's going to have an engine oil cooler, transmission oil cooler. So that's actually just going to help cool it off a little bit. So that's why I'd said some of my early videos that you got the FX4 package, you're getting the higher capacity radiator upgraded cooling fan. So, you know, I know that they're not updating the tow package anymore from, you know, 2,000 pounds, because the only thing really it's missing is the heavy duty transmission with oil cooler. So yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not going to go away from what Ford says, but you think you should be able to tow more than 2,000 pounds if you get the FX4 package. So anyway, just because you get upgraded cooling fans and radiators. So and they give you a time frame or when the vehicle will arrive. It should be delivered sooner. It could be delivered sooner. Yep. I know some people, I think really just depends on where you're located in Kansas. So like we have some that have been built already, but they're not going to be here until more of the middle of October because we're in Kansas and it's in Mexico. So it takes longer to get here. Those dealerships in Arizona are getting theirs a lot faster because they're closer down to the factory. So I think that's why they're getting a little bit faster. So. All right, so. Okay. Manuel said built and not shipped yet. Scheduled delivery was last week of October. Hey Matthew, maybe is that a hybrid? Maybe it was a hybrid. I don't know. I know the hybrids aren't going out yet. So anyway, at least EcoBoost while waiting for Maverick. Only cars left. Yeah, there's a lot of dealers that don't have a lot of cars on the lot. We're very fortunate. So have you ever seen a new car launch besides a Bronco? Yeah, actually, you know, I was really surprised. I do the videos early on all launches. So I've done a video at the launch when Bronco happened, when Bronco and Bronco Sport. I did a video that night. I did another one for the F-150 Lightning, and I also did one for the Maverick. And I was just surprised at how much. And I also do my breakdown of the XL, XLT, and Lariat of what standard videos. I always do that on all my vehicles. Did it for the Bronco as well. I spent like a week doing one every day on the Bronco and having that go live. But Maverick is the one that really took off because I don't think Ford really thought there would be this much demand for this vehicle. It's going to be a great truck, and it's going to be a great truck for Ford lineup. It's crazy. I'm just surprised at the amount of people out there that are really interested in that. So is there an actual real picture of the bed mat? This is poor. You know, I think if you go to build and price, I think there actually is now a picture of the bed mat. Or if you go to accessories.ford.com and pick 22 Maverick, I did see a picture of a bed mat. I believe it's maybe in Ford Accessories website. So try that, Steve. Can you remove the tonneau cover if you're party code 2? No, you can't touch an order once it's below 10. So I've actually heard other people that said their order was in 2 and stuck down there, and it never came back to 10. Around here, usually our orders come back up to 10 over the weekend, and we can update something. But I'm not sure, so I will try to get that information. I mean, I'm not sure why it's staying on a 2, and I think the only people that can really adjust that from a 2 are people that got a, you know, that like the region, I think maybe the zone rep can reach out and say, hey, they're wanting to take the tonneau cover off because but if it's a 2, then that means the region's looking at it pretty seriously. So it might be something that you want to just hold that anyway, and you might get lucky and get that cover for you. So that's something to just keep in mind. So maybe that will go ahead and get scheduled for you. So you know, if the phone stand area in front of the cup holders in that removal tray, can you run a cord from your phone to that tray and set your phone in there to plug in it? Don't know. I know that the plugins are behind that, so your phone holders there in the front, and then I think the plugins are actually above it, right above that at the very bottom, like right below the climate control, if I remember right. I have to actually maybe look at a picture there and see for sure, but so you should be able to run that cord from there down to it pretty easily. They made those to where you can just slide them in there and be plugged in. That's why they made those that way. So they really, what they did was they made the upright one supposed to be for the passenger to put their phone there, and then the one that's down flat is supposed to be for the customer to put down there, so they're not looking at their phone. So it's made to where you can just plug right in and then lay it there, and it's charging, and then you can use the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So come with a Sync 3 system, and the other trims will have. Yeah, Lariat with the Lariat Luxury package will get Sync 3, by the way, and then other trims will not have Sync 3. So you will, you know, there are some things that what you don't get with the Sync 3 and what you do. I actually had a graphic. I have to see if I could find that again. That actually had a breakdown of what's in that the Sync, what extra features you get from the Sync 3. So you're supposed to get, like, Sync 3 is supposed to get 911 assist. I think a little bit better voice communication to the vehicle as well. App link, and actually I think I've saw now that they've taken actually the word app link off of the order guide. I didn't mention that in my video. I don't use app link much at all, but so I've taken that off. But in fact, on this packaging guide here, the only thing they mentioned for Sync 3 is 911 assist, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which you already get that. So you know, I think you're just getting a better connection to the Sync 3. So I don't think you really lose a lot, in my opinion, for that. So that's okay. Appreciate it. It's past 8. I just realized that. I've been enjoying answering a lot of questions here for you guys, but it is after 8. So I usually try to, you know, close off the live stream after 8 o'clock. So I've been answering questions for about an hour yet and didn't even realize it. So thanks for the great, you know, questions. Hopefully I answered more questions this time. I tried to kind of drill down and get those questions answered for some of you. But of course, if you have any other you know, questions for me, you can of course locate me on all the different social media sites. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter. I'm at Tim Bartz. I like using Twitter if I can. It's a little easier for me to be able to communicate with people, and I like to retweet and send tweets out. That's the easiest way to contact me there. So I'm at Tim Bartz on Twitter. You can also find me on any of the forums. I'm at Ford Video Guy on the Maverick chat forum, as well as the Maverick Truck Club forum. I'm on there as at Tim Bartz, so you can always message me there, and then we can communicate back and forth on the conversation if you have any other questions for me. Also, I'm on Reddit, so I'm at Tim Bartz on Reddit as well, and a lot of people reach out to me there too. So a couple ways to get a hold of me. And of course, I didn't mention earlier, but if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the red subscribe button down below so you can get subscribed. If you hit the notification bell, you'll get notified the next time we have another video uploaded to our channel. So when that video goes live, when we're going to go live on live stream, you'll get that notification as well. And again, I really might do some short videos if I get some information on some of those others. Maybe do a quick little video instead of just posting it on the different places. Might be just a little bit easier for me to do that. So it'll be a great way for you to get notified of that. Hopefully you guys all smashed that like button and you did like the video and you had some fun with us here answering questions. So I do appreciate that. Feel free to share this out if you want to on social media. I already have. I already put the link out there. So go ahead and do that if you want to. And again, hopefully you're enjoying these videos and these live streams. I think this week a little bit more than last week. I think right now we still have 345 people on here. So as long as you guys want to come in here and hang out and chat and ask questions, I'm here to help you out and answer those questions. I really do, and I do enjoy helping customers out. I'm being an internet manager. I'm actually not a salesperson. so I don't get directly get to talk to customers that come in to the dealership. So this is my way to be able to connect with the community. So I'm really enjoying answering these questions and helping everybody out, and getting you know, the process is pretty difficult anymore, the way that's going with ordering. And I know that Ford and other dealers are wanting people to order vehicles, custom order like this. I've actually been doing this for several years. I know my dad, he special orders all his vehicles. He wants it with the equipment he wants, with no other equipment, doesn't want to pay for those extra equipment. So he's been doing this for years. So he knows the process, but not all customers do. And not all customers realize that you can do this same process with any vehicle. So if you want to, you know, wanted an Edge, you want a Bronco Sport, you can custom order any vehicle to your liking. Some of they'll come a little faster than the Maverick because a lot of those have already been in production. Like Bronco Sport 22s are out now. It's not going to take, you know, 4 or 5 months to get a Bronco Sport, because it's in production and it's working. So you can do this with any vehicle, but that process is a little confusing for some people and even some dealers out there. Hopefully I help them out. I know some dealers don't like me sometimes out there. At least that's the feeling I get, because I drive the customers into the dealership to ask the check on this. Hey, did you do it this way? Did you do it that way? And I'm really just trying to help out those people, because I do know some of the salespeople do watch the videos, and I'm really just trying to help out everybody, not just help out the customers, but also help out the dealers too, because we can't handle all the orders here. And you know, if you want to work with us, great, but I also want you to get worked, you know, get helped and get one at a dealership close to you. My friend Paul in San Diego, by the way, hi Paul. He and we talk almost every week about Maverick and such, and he's got an order with the dealership in San Diego, and his hasn't been scheduled yet. And you know, try to help them out and help the dealer out. So hopefully the dealers don't get upset with me. I'm just trying to help them out, because you're excited to get a vehicle, and hopefully the dealership's excited for you to get your vehicle too, like we are here at McArthur, and they want to just help you out. So just, you know, to make sure, and especially like here, if you know, we do have you know, a lot of salespeople helping out, but for some reason, if something, you know, a ball got dropped or somebody's on vacation like Mike is, and you need something changed on your order, feel free to contact me if you have your order in here at McArthur as well. And I answer phone calls about every day to customers that have orders with somebody else, just to kind of help them out. So anyway, so again, thanks for watching the live stream here. Hope you guys had a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll see you guys all next week for our live stream. So and hopefully you have a great week. And for those of you, there are dealerships that have allocations available this week, good luck. Hopefully you guys get scheduled on Thursday.